Hi gardening friends, welcome back. Today we are going to be pulling a few perennials out of the greenhouse and getting them planted in the yard. These are new to me, so I thought I'd share them. I think they sound very, very exciting. We have some new landscape beds behind me. Let me show you what those look like. You were able to tune into the episode a couple of shows ago. We installed these beds, added a bunch of perennials. Most of the focus of these are going to be to attract pollinators. So we're going to be planting a few more today. I'll be telling you a little more about each one as we go along. Thanks for joining me. All right, and the perennials for today are, let's see what's behind the magic curtain here. All right, so this beautiful perennial is a penstemon, and the flower is a beautiful, soft, kind of purplish blue with some soft peaches in there. And this perennial is called Pristine Blue. We've got this gorgeous yellow bloom, and this is called Texas Sundrops. Okay, so it is a Texas native, full sun, low water. Okay, and I'll tell you a little bit more when we get these planted up. The next one is called Lion's Tail, and look at that. Obviously, it needs water, but it is an orange flower, and I've been enjoying orange in my garden. I know that a lot of gardeners are not fond of it, but I'm excited to add that color. I feel like the boldness of it will stand out. This is Euphorbia Glacier Blue. Look at the gorgeous variegated foliage on this one. Another cute little thing that I've fallen in love with is this mini basil bonsai. Look how cute this is. Perfectly little round, and can you see just how tiny those basil leaves are? And it smells heavenly, as you can imagine. I think this is going to be added to one of my pots. All right, and the next one is this beautiful foliage, this dark green foliage. This is actually spinach, and it grows as a shrub. It's Okinawa spinach. And look at under the leaf. Isn't that gorgeous? Also, look at all the aphids. So I've got to get this out of my greenhouse very quickly and wash these aphids off. All right, and all these flats are Verbena bonariensis, and these are all from seed. So I don't know that I'm gonna have space for these, but I'm gonna get them started and then potentially have to give some away, which is just fine. All right, if you are new here, I am so glad you're here. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. I love to hear from you, so leave a comment or two, and let's go ahead and start planting. We'll start with the lion's tail. So lion's tail is hardy in zones 8 through 11. It does take full sun and well-drained soil. It gets pretty big, 4 to 6 feet tall. So I'm going to see how this performs in my yard, and if I'm happy with it, I plan on digging it up and trying to overwinter it. If I'm not happy with it, then it'll die. So the medicinal properties, it sounds like it's an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antifungal. So it has lots of really great medicinal properties. Who knows if I'll ever use those, but I'm glad to know that. So it'll invite butterflies and hummingbirds, and I'm super excited about that part. I'll do what it takes to get those pollinators at my house. Fertilizer is not necessary. It does well in poor soils. It does like to be deadheaded after blooming, and this is when it's a good time to collect the flowers for herbal tea. It's easily propagated by cuttings. All right, our next one is a Texas native called Texas Sundrops, and it makes a beautiful nickel-sized yellow bloom, and it will do so, it sounds like, all the way summer through fall. It will tolerate drought conditions, hot heat, good for any sun flower beds. So I am risking it a little bit by putting in this bed because I had sneedweed here last year. It did amazing, but it's not coming back for me. And I do want something that's going to return each year. But this bed only gets afternoon sun. So my options are not many. Lantana would be my other option, but I just don't feel like having lantana here. I want to try something different. It does get 12 to 15 inches tall, 18 to 24 inches wide. It'll take blooms all the way summer to fall. And then it sounds like the foliage could possibly be evergreen, which would be another bonus. And I only got 2 of them, and now I'm wishing I had 3. But since it's asking for well-draining soil, again, this soil is in good condition. I don't need to amend it other than adding this shale. Just to help with the drainage here, which probably isn't the best. If you tuned into any of my previous videos, you know I have the Texas sage right here, and I decided to finally trim them up like little trees after some feedback from you guys. I had asked if I should do that, and I got a few answers, so I did so, and I think this will look great. Cute. So even though your labels say that things are drought tolerant, does not mean that they don't need water. Even drought tolerant plants, when they're first planted, benefit from getting their roots established. So don't think you can just plant it and leave it. You've got to make sure that you're watering it. All right, so I think that looks pretty cute. See where I just have 2 of them? Again, I almost think I could have used a third along here, but maybe I'll pick up another one. I think I got those at Green Acres. I might have to take a quick trip back, and maybe I'll do a tour for you guys while I'm there. Here we have Glacier Blue Euphorbia, and it does great in dry soils and will tolerate drought, but it does take a little bit of moisture in the heat. I will have to plan to water it a little bit more in the summer. It is hardy in zones 7 through 10. It takes full sun to light shade, but it's my understanding that the light shade will cause it to flop over. So full sun is best. I'm going to divide this plant. It looks like I have possibly 4 plants total. It gets 24 inches high, 36 inches wide, and it's white cream. Blooms in the spring, a real beautiful little white flower. Do love the contrast of the foliage. I think what I'd like is to have it behind this dianthus. This is pink skullcap. And so I do feel like I could use a little bit of light foliage. This is poor drainage along this wall, so I'll have to add a lot of expanded shale, which I think I may have already added quite a bit, but I'll be adding some more. All right, 4 total. I'm gonna put 1. Why is the hose always where you want to put plants? You guys notice that? It's just me. All right. Oh my gosh, it's gonna look amazing. Look how gorgeous. They are so pretty. So I've got 4 plants out of them. I know we're supposed to plant in odd numbers, but I think 4 will do. It looks good. In the meantime, I do have all these little parsleys. I just scattered the seeds. I think I'm gonna scoot them all up and then line this pathway with the parsley in certain areas. So maybe along here. I'm not sure yet. Need to figure that out. But I do love to have herbs as part of my landscape. I've got some dill back here. This is oregano that I transplanted. It had kind of started getting hidden in the shade. I have rosemary actually throughout my yard in pots and out in the landscaping. Look from here, how bright. They almost look like fluorescent. But the dianthus is coming in all kinds of different cute little colors of pink and white. I cut them all back when I planted them, so they're all just now starting to sprout flowers again. just a few quick updates. Look at the bee balm. So pretty. So in this pot I have, this is dill, this is thyme, and then I just have a decorative zinnia here. I actually think I'm going to put the basil here and just move the decorative zinnia to the middle. And then I'll have a nice little herb pot. I usually do have basil in this pot, but it's usually large sweet basil. So I'm hoping that this little basil might just add some structure to this pot, because the dill does get so crazy looking. And I might not have room for that zinnia. All right. All right, well, I better get this watered. It looked pretty dry, which basil can tolerate dry conditions. Just don't want to take any chances while I'm getting it established. So. First things first, I'm going to rinse all these aphids off before I plant it. I'd rather it be planted with a clean slate, but this happened pretty fast. They were not there yesterday. But these will be the healthiest little aphids ever, right? All right, well, where I think the spinach is going to go is going to be next to the euphorbia, that beautiful, beautiful variegated leaf, and then I'll have this dark purple and green contrast. So it forms a low mound, which is what I'm looking for. If you keep the top trimmed off, it will kind of grow into a ground cover. So as the euphorbia grows up, this will stay low. And so I look forward to having that at the front of the bed. I plan on putting the verbena back there. And then back up even further in the garden, I've got parsley seeds, curly parsley seeds in between the white mist flowers. So I have a white mist flower there. Those are Texas natives, by the way. So there's 4 total. 2, 3, and then 4. And then I've got some dill back there, right behind the dianthus. Let me show you that. A nice little host for the swallowtails. 1, 2, 3, and they make the cutest little yellow flower. So they get pretty tall. They should come up behind the dianthus, and then I leave that yellow flower because I think it's super cute. I do like to put it in my bouquets. So this is a good mix of herbs as well. I do have some oregano down here. This is a transplant. It was under my bridal wreath spirea, but it was the spirea was shading it. So I've moved it out here, and I'm hoping it'll form a nice little mound. As always, I am going to see if I can divide these. They can be grown by propagation. So I think you can cut a stalk and stick it in the grass, keep it watered, and it should make additional plants. So it does not look like I can divide these. This looks like one plant. Oh, wait up. Let's see. Hate to take a chance. Nah, it feels pretty solid. They do like well-drained soil. So I'm going to grab some expanded shale real quick. All right, this is Nature's Creation expanded shell. I get it at Green Acres. They also have it at Callaway's. I think it's $14.99 at Green Acres and maybe like 16 something at Callaway's. When I dig, I just need to be careful because I did put the hose in here. Drip hose is nowhere to be seen though, so I think I'm good. Oh, just pulled it up. And I only got 2 because they were expensive. But I might try to clip them and just grow a few more so it doesn't look weird to just have 2 plants right here. So what I may do is just what I said, go ahead and clip a few and see if I can start another plant with them. Let's give it a try. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to clip it down. I'm going to do kind of like what I do with coleus. Then I'm just going to remove the leaves because normally roots will come from the nodes there. So I'm going to take the leaves off like that. And then this is typically where you'll get new roots, just like coleus. Take the big leaves off. That way it has less to worry about keeping alive. So I'm going to do some on this side too. Oh. And it is an annual. This is one that if at the end of the season I liked how it grew, I might go ahead and just take some cuttings and then just try to overwinter them in the greenhouse. But they're tender, so they can't take any kind of frost. I hope I got most of the aphids off. All right, put some root stimulator on it and hope it takes off. Just clipping off a few more of these big leaves. Okay. What you think, Lucy? You want some spinach? Healthy? Hmm? Okay, so the penstemon is going to go here. It'll be right in front, or however you want to take perspective of the obelisk. And then you've got these prairie verbenas right in front of it, which the color kind of matches. And then look with the peach, how beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous. So I'm just going to do a triangle here and let them fill out this space here. One. Again, there's soaker hose throughout. Yep, I'm always right on top of it too. Oh, that's a pretty thick root. All right, label says Pristine Blue Penstemon. Takes full sun, 14 to 18 inches high, hardy in zones 5 through 9. It flowers from late summer to early fall, and it likes moist, well-draining soil, and it benefits from deadheading. Also, go ahead and cut it down in the fall after blooming is ended. Another positive about the shale is I think that, if I'm not mistaken, it keeps the moles away. I don't think they like the like the rocks in their nails. I may be wrong, but I thought I read that somewhere. Now, whether I'll ever know if that's true or not, I'm not really sure, but everything's worth a try. So since I've started adding it around the base of a lot of my plants, I'll know in the future if it really might be true or not. Right, can you see how the Prairie Verbena color is going to play off of that? Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful plant. So I've come to love penstemons. I have struggled a little bit sometimes with the stalk standing upright, but this color is so beautiful, I'll be prepared to stalk it if I have to, but it'd be ideal if I didn't. These were next to the spinach in the greenhouse, so I just want to check and see if there's any aphid damage or any sign of aphids, and I have not seen any yet. I think we're good to go though. All right, so we're just going to put these get pretty big. We're just going to spread them and fill this whole back area. And I've been wanting to grow these for forever. Be taking a huge risk over here because this is not good, well-draining soil. the water drains from out under this wall, and it's just really not well draining. So we will just have to see how these take and hope this expanded shale is enough. I'll put some at the very bottom. Tall verbena is hardy in zones 7 to 11. It likes full sun. It can grow 2 to 5 feet high, and the pollinators just love it. It does benefit from being deadheaded or cut back to flush a whole set of new blooms. I think I'm putting way too many, but I'll pull them. Also, you guys know I love my chickens. I got my chicken boots on and my chicken shirt on. All about the chickens today. Even though I can't have them in my yard, maybe one day I'll be able to have some chickens. Just not today. What you think, Lucy? You gonna try that spinach? Huh? You gonna try the spinach? What do you guys think? I put way too many? I'll find out. All right, let's step back and put some root stimulator, and then I'll show you how everything looks. Precise measurements. All right, let's take a closer look. There's the spinach and the little babies all behind it right there. So hopefully those will, I'll keep cutting these down and let those grow up to meet it. And then all the verbena behind it. I am going to come back later and just take the tips off of all of these, just like that. The milkweed reseeded last year, so I'm going to dig up these little babies and put them up next to the roses. All right, I've got that spot right there in the middle, and I think that'll be perfect. It'll put some height to the middle of the bed, and it'll be next to the Agastaki there. So don't want it too close to the roses. All right. The pansies are beautiful. My drifts are about to explode. I hope you guys... The Colette just keeps getting more and more beautiful every day as more of the roses keep opening up. It's filling this entire space with the best smell ever. And then look, the little happy Dianas are starting to open up. Look how cute that flower is. The Nike Warsaws are starting to come out. You can see how pretty with the sun on these roses and then the blue penstemon behind it. So pretty. And then the blues also not only plant off of the prairie verbena, but I did plant some bluebells lining the sidewalk on both sides. So it's picking up that blue as well. Take one more close up. And that will be all for today. But I am so thankful, as always, that you guys join me. And I hope if you like this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. It really helps my channel grow. Even if you just put a little emoji or a hello, any kind of comments, I do appreciate all of them. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.